And so imagine the shock when I arrived that day and got out of the news car only to see.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
I'm Tom Walker with American Family Insurance. If you have questions about insurance or other services we provide, I want to help. You're always welcome to contact me or simply stop by my office so we can get to know each other. Thanks for visiting and have a great day.
Call Tom at Tom Walker Agency, your American Star certified agency. Excellence in customer experience at TomWalkerInsurance.com.
Hey, welcome back to Channel Mom. We are talking about the very serious subject of school shootings, but how we can address it as moms, how mothers across the nation are feeling. Apparently 35% of parents are now afraid their kids will be hurt in a school shooting. Just breaks my heart how that's changed. I am with my friend Ginger Delgado, who was a news reporter for years here in Denver and covered the Columbine shootings. So to talk about, how you now view your covering Columbine high school shooting.
Well, when I covered Columbine, it turns out that day I was one of the first reporters out there on the scene. I just happened to be at the station at the time that the story broke, and I got sent out immediately to the school. And the photographer I was working with that day, Brad Houston, and I, we arrived at the triage area. That's where we were assigned. So we didn't go directly to the school because another crew went to the school, but we went to the back of the school into a residential neighborhood where they were treating the injured kids. And so imagine the shock when I arrived that day and got out of the news car only to see 10 to 15 students laying on the front lawns of people's homes, bleeding, injured, shot. And it was just, I had never seen anything like it, Jenny. It looked like, a war zone, not to sound cliche, but I had never experienced anything like that. And I had no idea the magnitude of the story at the time. And I remember I was out there for a long time. I was probably out there for 6 to 8 hours that day. And I just remember coming home that night. Now, granted, I wasn't a parent at the time, nor was I a Christian at the time. But I came home that day just physically exhausted. And I remember collapsing in my living room and just bawling because I couldn't, I had to control that emotion. Obviously, when I'm out in the field reporting, you have to be very impartial and you have to really contain your emotions while you're on the air. And so once I got home, I just remember letting it go, and I was just sobbing uncontrollably. But, then a few years after Columbine, the Platte Canyon shooting happened up in Bailey, where you live. And, now, and then, of course, there's been so many since then.
First of all, I'm devastated that we've had so many in Colorado. We've had at least 4, Deer Creek and Arapahoe and Columbine and Platte Canyon High School. You're right. I was part of the Platte Canyon school shooting in the sense that my husband was assistant principal then. He had been instituting all kinds of safety measures, which still didn't stop the man who went in and did this. They have instituted more safety measures. As you and I talked about, positive things have come out of these things. So last words, I want to give mom some hope today. First of all, it's less likely statistically than you may feel like it is right now. Second of all, there are all kinds of organizations that have sprung up to make our schools safer. And you can tap into those by going to websites. The I Love You Guys Foundation is easily found on the web. They responded, John Michael and Ellen Keyes, to the shooting at Platte Canyon by setting this up and setting something up called Standard Response Protocol to help parents and schools feel safer and have something in place to help them. So you can go to I Love You Guys, and I believe it's .org. And Ginger, you've got a recommendation.
Well, just the one we were talking about earlier, the Safe and Sound Foundation. And you can go to, it's www.safeandsoundschools.org. It's a Sandy Hook initiative. And I think they're in the process of getting their nonprofit status right now. Right now, they're calling themselves a non-stock status. But in any event, they have a lot of information there about information that you can take to your communities and to your principals and administrators and teachers and just to open the discussion up and talk about how to make your school safer and the things you can do.
Yeah, to give parents some kind of a feeling that they're doing something good to help their kids.